If you're having urinary leakage with running, jumping, or high-intensity sport, then this video is for you. My name's Christine. I'm a pelvic floor physical therapist, and I help women return to sport safely and without urinary incontinence. So we're going to start with doing standing fire hydrants supported by a wall. You can use a band. If you don't have one, that's fine. We could do it without one. So we'll start with my right leg on the floor, left leg supported by the wall, and you want to be about hip width apart. From here, instead of standing up straight, you want to slightly lean forward, and you want to make sure that the ball of your big toe is driving into the ground. So again, you're like that tripod where the bottom of your big toe, the bottom of your pinky toe, and your heel are all in contact with the floor. So once you have that set up and you have a slight hinge forward, we're going to do some fire hydrants. You should really feel it in the right glute and the left one as well, but the right one's doing most of the work right now. This is 5, we're going to do 12. Good. And then standing here, we'll do a little glute burner. So we're going to go from standing to a hinge forward. So we're just going to hinge back and forth. That's 5, we're doing 10. Yeah. And so for these exercises, because we're using a lot of strength and power, and that's what we're training, you're not training for hypertrophy, we want to take long rest breaks. That means 2 to 5 minutes if needed, more if you need more. So don't be afraid to rest, let your body fully recover, and then do your second set. So let's do our second set, 12 of the fire hydrants, and then 10 of the leaning forward. The band is really there because that right knee might try to cave in. Make sure it doesn't. So think of pushing out into the band the whole time. And 12. Now we hold that position and we're just gonna hinge forward and back up. Next leg. So same thing. Make sure that big toe is in contact with the ground. That was 12. Now we're gonna hinge forward and then come back up. So these exercises are definitely a little bit more high intensity and single leg movements, because if you want to get back to running or jumping, that's a lot of force and you're on one leg the whole time. So that's why we're going to be targeting single leg movements in today's session. Let's do our third set. Last one. That's 12. Now we're gonna hinge forward and come back up. And if this is too easy, you can always hold on to a weight. Okay. And 12. Now we're gonna hinge forward and come back up. When you're hinging forward, make sure your trunk is flat. Don't round your back. Your butt goes back and then your butt comes back up. Done with that one. One of the things that a lot of women have trouble with and why they're having leakage is because of shock absorption. So we want to practice shock absorption so that when you're running or jumping, your pelvic floor and your body knows how to do that. This is one of my favorite ways to get started. So you're going to squat down, explode up, and then drop down really quickly and come back up. So you're doing it fast and make sure you're breathing. So let's do 10 of those. You're not necessarily jumping up, it's more about the going down. So you're up on your tippy toes and you're exploding down and then you're coming back up. We can take a break and then we'll do 10 more. Let's do the second set. Let's do set number 3. You're gonna explode up and drop down. So we're gonna do our next exercise, which is single leg around the world. You could do this with weight or without a weight. Of course, with a weight will make it a little bit harder. So see what you're comfortable with and start there. You're gonna put one leg into a lunge position and that they're like behind. You wanna make sure that your foot is fully on the ground and you're stable because it's also a big balance exercise. Then you're gonna lift your back foot so you're barely on your tippy toes. And you're gonna bring it around you, tap, and then back to the other side. So it's called around the world, but it's kind of just like a half circle. Your knee might feel like it's wobbling. Make sure your foot is completely flat on the ground. And we're gonna do 10 to 12 of these. So you should be feeling this in your glute muscles and your quads and the arch of your foot a little bit too, because that's also working. And 10. We'll do the next side. So again, lunge position. You want to trunk is leaning forward as if you're pushing your butt back into the chair. Make sure your foot is in contact with the ground, and then we'll start. If this is too difficult, you can always put a towel on the floor or just slide your foot and then slide it back. But to make it more challenging, just don't touch the floor, just tap at each end. Good. All right, let's do set number 2. So we'll hinge forward, bring your foot back, make sure weight is through your foot and your butt, and you're leaning forward. And then we're gonna just tap and bring our foot to the other side. Some sides. So 10 more. Feeling forward. Okay, let's get started. Good. All right, let's do our third and final set. So same thing, we hinge forward, foot comes back. Let's switch sides. Done. So this is our final exercise, and it's one of my favorites for return to running or return to jumping, because it really emphasizes the triple extension that needs to happen when you are running or when you're doing any type of explosive movement. You're just gonna need a wall or a pillow or something to put your knee on. We're gonna go into a lunge position, and I'm gonna show you the movement slow this first time so you know how to do it. The wall's there for your support. You're gonna explode up into a knee bend and on your tippy toes on the foot that is on the floor. So let me show you again. You're here, you're gonna explode up and then drag back down. I'll show you on the other side as well. So you're here, wall's there for your support, you explode up and then come back down. Or exploding up and then back down. Let's do 6 on each side and see how it feels. If you want to do more, do more. If you need to do less, do less. But because this one's a little bit more challenging, make sure you take enough rest in between sets. Let's get started. And switch sides. Oh, okay. Done with set number 1. Okay, let's do our second set. Oh, okay. All right, let's do our third set. Okay, we're done. I hope you liked that video. I know I'm out of breath. If you want to see more exercises, check out my other videos where we go over more things you can do to help you get back to running, jumping, and any other sport you want to get back to.